Oh, my dear sweet lord. All right. So, something a little different today. We're going to do a video on the floor. Hello, kitchen. It is my birthday. I am far older than I want to be. No, actually, I don't mind being old. I'm 38 as of midnight. Um, I never grew up. I got older, but I never grew up. And I still love toys, and I still love props and movies and playing pretend and all that fun stuff that we do. And so, as you can see, I've got action figures over here, Castle Grayskull diorama. I've got dioramas over there. I got movie props all around me. I got BB-8 over there. Mic stand with ghost memorabilia on it and things like that. The sorting hats over there. So I got all this shit, and I never got out of it. And so naturally, what does someone who's a giant child at the age of 38 get themselves for their birthday? Or what does their mother get them, I suppose? Like, well, she still buys me toys. No, in reality, I did ask my family as a joke for an item. I put it on my Facebook and I said, hey, anybody who's in my family who loves me and wants to give me a birthday present, buy me this. And you know what? They did, because they appreciate and accept my eccentric ways. So I actually, wanted the new Marvel one-to-one Stormbreaker. Now, I'm told the thing is about 4 inches shorter than the actual one-to-one prop, but it lights up and stuff, and I always wanted the light-up Mjolnir, which was about $100, and I never got that. I don't really know why I never got it. I may still get it. I may just get it to have the set, but I do cosplay as Bro Thor. I was very into that whole thing, and I do have a Stormbreaker. It's that $17 Rubies one. That's not bad at all. It's a good size. It's fairly large. I've seen some really good 3D printed ones, but when I saw this, I was like, dude, that's the one you want. And I don't know why Stormbreaker interested me so much. It's definitely not as cool a weapon to me as Mjolnir, but something... My cat's showing me the belly. I gotta rub. But something about Stormbreaker really captured my attention, and I didn't really like that it was Groot's arm that was the handle, but somehow it really, maybe it was just the sheer size of it, like it was like 3/4 the size of Hemsworth, but something about Stormbreaker really impressed me, and it just sort of grew on me as a weapon. I know it, of course, as the weapon of Beta Ray Bill in the comics, which was a really cool looking hammer. With an axe edge on one side, a hammer that was gold. I liked Stormbreaker, and Odin was so impressed with Beta Ray Bill, who picked up Thor's hammer and was worthy. Because remember, anybody who picks up Thor's hammer is worthy and is supposed to look like Thor, get that power. When Beta Ray Bill had to give Mjolnir back to Thor, Odin made for him Stormbreaker, or maybe he just presented to him. I don't remember if he made it for him, but he said, you deserve your own hammer. You can be a guardian of the galaxy, so to speak. And so Beta Ray Bill became like Cosmic Thor, and his comic series was about doing Thor things not on Earth, but in outer space and all the 9 realms. And it was just really cool. And Beta Ray Bill is one of those sort of unsung comic heroes that, unless you're in the know, you don't really know about him. He kind of has a horse face, really weird looking guy. Probably the most non-human looking hero character that anybody ever had. He did make an appearance in the animated Planet Hulk. Did you sneeze? And in Planet Hulk, he doesn't actually appear on Sakaar, but in the animated version he did. And I just thought that was kind of cool. So anyway, Marvel announced that they were doing this, they were continuing that series, the Legends series, I think it was, and lo and behold, I got Mjolnir. Stormbreaker Mjolnir. And so I'm very anxious to see how this thing looks in real life. The box did not make it undamaged. There's a big tear in the box down here. But it doesn't look... it looks like they padded this thing so well that's not going to impact it, but I don't have too much faith in UPS as a shipping company. Most of the stuff I get to the U.S. Post Office arrives in much better shape than UPS and FedEx. They don't do such a great job with their shipping. So sorry, guys, if you want me to say a bit nicer things about you, don't fuck up my packages. But we're going to open this sucker. I am not a box preserver. You've seen me open things before. I destroy it. But let's start with one side. See what the hell. Now, I know in unboxing, you're supposed to get out of the video and show the whole box and all that, but there's so many unboxings at this point that that's not really what people want to see. I'm just going to open this and you get to see a human... Holy shit, this is huge. You get to see a human playing with it. Alright, so for starters... Jeez, crow. It comes boxed, not even together yet. That's how big this thing is. Good Lord, this is a lot. I'm gonna get the other Stormbreaker and show you. This thing's friggin' huge. Holy crap. We may pick this camera up halfway through this, but all right, let's do this. I'm gonna cut it out and show you each individual piece. I'm also gonna check the inscriptions because there is some Asgardian runes. All right, so this is kind of cool. Let's zoom in here and deal with this. So, don't need that. So let's start with the first part, which is, let's get these plastics off. They did a pretty good job packaging it, to be honest with you. So this is pretty gigantic. The tree is rubber. It moves a little bit. It's a very flexible rubber, and there's a button right here. So that's kind of cool. You can see the detail, which is very reminiscent of what appears on Mjolnir. I guess Eitri likes the same designs. We have the runes. And it's funny because it looks like it actually says strength on it in runes. And I believe that is what it says. But there's also some little runes right down here, which I was not aware of in my research. I didn't actually see that. There is this seam on the edge because of how it lights up. And some people have complained about that, but there's a two-tone quality to it. So I'm actually okay with that and how they did that. But there is bits. You can kind of see that. I wonder if that's the part that comes off and you put the batteries in. I'll have to look at that. But so you can see already the width. This is as wide as I am as a person. And I am not a small person. I'm 6'2". I'm fairly wide, about 230. So I have an okay width to me. I'm a little bigger than the average guy. This thing's as wide as I am. This thing's fucking huge. I'm gonna get a ruler. This is out of control. I gotta get a ruler. Kitten, what are you stalking? Because this is just completely insane. This is pure madness. I had no idea this thing was this big. I love this thing already. End to end, it's over 19 inches wide. This is my T-square, which is a yard. Or it's actually, it's 2 feet, excuse me. It's a 24-inch. Look at the size of that. That thing is 19 inches wide. That's huge. The detailing is really cool. It actually has some nice craculature in the metal, which is kind of interesting. Now, I believe that is to contribute to the lightning effect, but here is the $17 inaccurate one from Party City. And this is this one. Even if I put it in front of it, it just so large. Just so very large. And of course, the shape is inaccurate on this guy. But for $17, and I repainted this, and I did a video on that. For $17, you can't really complain, but you can see the detail. Like, and if you look at the runes on this versus the runes there, completely different setup there. And does that say Porp something? I don't know. I can't even read this guy. So much bigger than the $17 guy. So let's get the rest of this out and then hook it up and see what this looks like. Now, what I like is, I was worried about a seam, but because they staggered the crunchiness factor there, it will probably link up very nice. It's actually got screws, which is kind of interesting as well. I wonder what that's about. I'm assuming there's an instruction manual in here somewhere that I'm supposed to find. I don't see one, but maybe there is one. So, am I just going to cut? We're just going to cut. For crying out loud. Shake and bake. Here's the handle, and it's got that piece in it. Ooh, it's got this stabilizer in it. Okay. That's starting to make a little bit more sense, but holy freaking crap. This is a cane. I can walk with this. So the bottom has some nice detailing. Kind of looks like a butthole, though. That's not so cool. Thor's butthole. That's... my brain goes to weird places. Sorry. So let's see. What's the probable way this goes? It doesn't look like that, does it? I think... Let's try it that way. Is that better? Is that closer to what it's supposed to be? No? Sorry, I'm kind of like winging this. Because like I said, I didn't really see... There it is. I didn't see an instruction manual. But how do I secure that then? If that's how that works. All right. So, some questions. Is there an instruction manual in here? Oh, I think there is. I think there is. Okay. So, here's... I'm going to pick this camera up in a minute. I'm going to pause this and reposition this, but look at the size of this thing. Good God. Here's the other one. I have to back up. This is insane. All right, so here's the one. That's the $17 one that I got from Party City. And still, for $17, I mean, this is $150. So this is $17. It's still a valuable prop for yourself. Even though there's some inaccuracies and things like that, I think it's a very, very workable prop. So I'm still not totally upset about this. But for crying out loud, look at the size of this son of a bitch. This is the biggest freaking prop I will ever own. I don't know anything I could ever own that would be bigger than this. And the seam is hidden very, very nicely. And it's got the button there. I still don't even know where the batteries and stuff go. So I'm going to take a minute, go through these instructions. But I'll show you guys the instructions for now. So, Legends series. It's stating. So it's saying that you can access the batteries in the core of the thing. So that's kind of interesting. So we're going to figure that out. Let's figure it out. All right, before we actually do this, I figured out how the battery thing goes on. So this piece just sort of secures on, and it just kind of pops right off, which is really kind of cool because you can't even see that. But here's the speaker where everything comes out. And I can tell this is where the screws go. So what you're going to do is you will slide the base up into this. Looks like it goes that way. God, I can't get that right no matter how you do it. You slide the base up through here, the holes inside the line, you put the screws through there. That's what holds it in place. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to open this up, put batteries in. I'm actually going to take my batteries out of another really cool GAT that I got, which is my new 3PO wall display, which is really cool. I'm using it with my Babu Frick because his eyes light up. Really, just a really good, cheap way to display with your Babu Frick. But this thing actually works as a mask. It fits my face perfectly. So I may actually build a 3PO. I don't know. I might. But I'm going to take this. I'm going to put these batteries in there because I don't have any extra AA's right now. I'm going to light this bad boy up and see what the hell it looks like. Oh, and I'm going to secure it in place. So we'll do that. All right. So we screwed the handle in. So it's in there now. Put the batteries in. We're going to try to put this back on, if that's even possible. Here's the methodology here. What it is, I don't know. So that's awesome. That I wasn't expecting. Seams need a little bit of help. A little bit of... All right. So... as we back up. So if I put this on the ground, interesting that it made that noise. So when I stomp it on the ground, it makes a noise. It comes up to about my navel here. So pretty tall. I'm gonna turn off some of these lights so we can get a little better look. All right, so I'm just gonna do it. So in person, let me see if I can get this light off too. So I got a lot of lights. All right, that's a little less bright. So let me back up into the shadow a little bit. Now you can see a little bit more of what's going on. First of all, it's got a nice deep rumble to it. I like the depth. So it's got an impact. Not so much on this side. So if you move it around, lights up a little bit. So it's got some grooviness to it, but that button, man, it's just a cool little added effect. And it looks like on the inside it's pearlized. So if I get very close, there's that translucency, which penetrates the whole thing, which is kind of cool. And oh, so swinging it has some sound effects to it, which is really interesting. Now, the downside is, as long as there's batteries in it, I can't turn that off, I don't think. There's not like an on-off button. I don't know what I did. So, kind of cool. So I don't know if I can turn this off. Now I'm just jerking it off. But, very large, very cool. So it has some nice mobility. Despite the fact that it's heavy, it actually spins pretty well. And you can spin it one hand. So that's not too bad either. It's just got a nice crystal look to it when it lights up. It has a very crystalline feel. But I really don't like how much sound it's making. So I am going to take the batteries out for the most part. Because I don't know how you turn it off. Like, just that. How did I do that? How did I even do that? So I think we're gonna need to do that. So if I take this off and you can actually hear the sound coming out of the sound bar, I mean that's pretty legit. Yeah, so all those cracks and things you see in it, that is part of the light up mechanism effect, which is kind of what I thought it was going to be. So overall, what do we think? How did I do that? Light up functions. You need to have a way to turn it off. Let's just hold the button. We'll see what happens. Did that turn it off? Nope. So the instructions don't really tell me how to on and off the thing. So the sound effects function is a little weird. It sounds good. It looks good. It's a nice little effect. But the randomness, you don't want to walk around con and have this thing going off all the time. So I think it'd be more of a buttons out situation. No batteries. But sheer size alone, the thing's phenomenal. I mean, this is intimidating, you know, compared to this. I mean, this is okay. This is certainly not unintimidating. I mean, it looks cool. You know, it has an aspect to it. You could definitely play a very decent Thor with something like this. And like I showed with a basic repaint, this is great. But come on. Look at the size of this thing. I mean, and this has an accurate handle to it, which is something that's pretty, I mean, look at that. That's ridiculous. And this has an accurate handle, which I do like. They said that the real one might be 4 inches taller than this, so that would put it at about here. About there? About there. So, even that much taller. So that would mean if this was here from the floor? Yeah, I guess that sounds about right. Yeah, so Stormbreaker, The rubber handle fits your hand very well. The paint job is nothing to write home about. I definitely could see repainting the handle. Is there a button in there? Can I actually turn something off in there? I got optimistic. Can't turn it off and on at will, which is irritating. So a little bit of negatives on that, but in terms of a one-to-one prop, an officially licensed prop, something that you want to display in your house, I mean, that's rock solid right there. I mean, you can't even get the Thanos gauntlet 1-to-1. It's like 1-to-2. It's like half the size it should actually be. This is phenomenal. I'm blown away by how cool this is. This is without a doubt. This is something. If you're a Thor fan, you need to have this. This is what's up. And the fact that they hide the seams so well is a huge plus, because seams are a problem with me with props, and I think that was what really kept me away from Mjolnir for so long. Will you shut up? That's gonna get old real quick. The thing that irritated me the most about Mjolnir was they did a bad job hiding the buttons and hiding the seams of what the thing was. And so I wasn't overly thrilled with how it looked. I saw some metal-made ones and some ones that interested me more. The Iron Man helmet looked good, but again, just the helmet, not something I really wanted to display. I'm not a helmet guy in that sense. I like to have the whole thing. Like, I have some Vader helmets, but I have a whole Vader costume, so that's the way I like that. I got the 3PO head, but that's part of the Babu Frick setup. So the Iron Man helmet, if they did the destroyed helmet with the projection, like in Endgame, that would be something that I might get. But I'm a weapons guy. I like the weapons, but I want to be able to bring them places. I don't want them to be cumbersome. I want them to look 1-to-1. I want them to be the proper size, because I'm as tall as I am. I want things sized to me. And that tends to be the size of what people are in the film. So I means I need them full size. So if you're like 5'7", this would probably be perfect for you. But I am not. So I need the big stuff. So this is big enough, and it is accurate enough. There's no hidden Disney logos or Hasbro logos, or I don't even know who makes this. Who does the Legends? It may just be Marvel themselves. I don't know if there's an additional company name on it, but there's no the CE, which, you know, with all batteries you have the CE and all that. That's all hidden underneath the removable plastic, so that there's no extra. So what you're looking at is screen-worthy. Now, if you want my honest opinion, I know it has to light up and all that, but you repaint this with a nice chrome finish, or you hit it with some graphite powder, really add another level to that. You could make this and repaint this whole aspect. You could make this look really, really nice, especially if you're going to abandon the electronics aspect. I don't think I'll ever abandon it because it's a cool effect, but man, that's pretty cool. So I 100% recommend picking this up. I give it a solid 8.5 out of 10 just because I can't figure out how to turn the damn thing off. So I totally recommend that hammer. Stormbreaker. Thanks for checking it out.